So, whether you're hosting a virtual event or a live event, speakers are pivotal to the event or to the words. Whether you're hosting a live event or a virtual event, speakers are a key component to making your event a success. And a lot of times people will go through strenuous processes to determine who their speakers are going to be, what they're going to talk about. And we spoke earlier about the importance of content and context. So now, today I wanted to talk about how to set your speakers up for success. Your speakers are honoring you by speaking at your event. So it's super easy. It's super important that you make it as easy for them as possible. You want it to be simple, especially now. Speakers are on stages all over the place. So you want to make it as easy for them not only to say yes to you, but once they say yes, to keep them engaged, make sure that you're getting everything you need from them and collecting that information and them providing it to you as simple as possible. So the first thing shocker, that I'm going to tell you is you have to plan. So before you even start pitching your potential speakers, you need to have a plan in place. And this is an entirely different plan than your event plan. This is your plan for speakers. You want to make sure that you have all of your copy written, that you have your presentation guidelines outlined, that you have a list of deliverables, anything that your speakers could need, that you already have that prepared, packaged, and ready to go for them. So I have a speaker checklist template that I use for any event that I'm planning. I have a presentation guidelines document that I start with as a template and obviously modify that as, dependent on what my clients need. But it's something to start with to make sure that you always have all of the checks and balances in place so that when a speaker asks you for something, you can immediately deliver. When you have a speaker confirm and say yes, you want to be able to turn around and immediately send them all the information that you're going to need from them. And likewise, you don't want to overwhelm them with this laundry list of things. Of course, at the beginning, you're going to provide them a comprehensive overview of, great, thank you for speaking, the whole copy that you've already written, and then want to provide them with a list of everything, all your deadlines, all your deliverables, what the presentation guidelines are, what your marketing strategy is going to be, because really your speakers, you could think of them as an extension of your marketing team. They are going to be speakers, and sponsors are going to be, really one of the biggest assets in promoting your event. And I'll talk about that briefly here shortly. But really, when you think about everything you're going to need from your speakers, you're going to need their headshot, you're going to need their bio, you're going to need what the topic is about, a couple sentence abstract or overview. Eventually, you're going to need their presentations. You're going to want to make sure that works with whatever technology you're hosting. You're going to want to take a look at, yesterday we talked about all the different presentation methods and all the different ways that you can format your event. You're going to want to make sure that you have a little bit of variety in there. Maybe there's a speaker that didn't have something, and then you can help to guide them into what holes you may or may not need to fill. So, making sure that you are prepared to deliver everything that your speakers need on a silver platter. And so I have found in the past, depending on the events that I'm working on, this can be a full-time job in and of itself. You're working on a multiple day event that has, 15, 20 speakers. Collecting all of that information is a matter of emailing, having your spreadsheet. Whose bios do I have? Where am I missing a presentation? Have I got this from them? Have I got that from them? Wait, did I send this to them? And the email trails get ridiculous. You are then sometimes, if you're not on top of it every single day and making that part of your daily process, sometimes things can fall through the cracks, and then you're having to reach out to your speakers, even though you gave them the list of deadlines. Them speaking at your event is not their top priority. So you want to make it easy for them. So even though they may already have a list, you're going to want to give them reminders a couple days before these things are due. And at the same time, when they submit the things to you, don't just check it off your list. Make sure that you're reaching out to them, thanking them, giving them some feedback. Don't actually, for me, I'll sit there and I will go through all of their presentations and I'll highlight a couple of things that I think are great, a couple of things that really tie into so and so else. So it's showing them that I not only care about receiving the information that I've requested, but that I've also taken the time to go through what they've prepared. So it works both ways. You don't want to always just be asking. You want to provide them with some feedback as well. So those are just a couple of things of what I am saying. You want to make it easy for them, and you want to make sure that you stay on top of everything. So, I have a tool that I have recently discovered. I actually posted about it on my profile this morning. That is like my new favorite thing. I feel like I have my own VA, and it's a complete technology that is super affordable. Right now, they're doing a free 2-week trial, and it's called Content Snare. And I'll post the link in the description for this. It is the most amazing thing. So once you've gone through and you've done all the things that I've told you, and I don't remember if I mentioned, I have these templates, I have the speaker checklists, I have presentation guidelines, I even have the email swipe files that you can use. So if that's something that you're interested in, drop an emoji below, or send me a DM, and I'm happy to share those with you, because like I've mentioned in previous posts, right now we're acting like this. We have to be quick. So why reinvent the wheel? I have something, it's worked for me for years, and I'm happy to share it with you. You just would have to go in and update the information for your specific thing, but it's easier than starting with a blank sheet of paper. So anyway, so Content Snare, seriously, it's Content Snare, like a snare drum. What this allows you to do, once you have come up with your plan, you can go in there, you load all of your speakers in there, and you add their information, you create what you need from them. Do you need their bio? Do you need their headshot? You complete this entire list of everything that you need. Now, I'm pointing to my other screen, have a dashboard of every single speaker, all of the items that you need, and the status of them. So you actually use Content Snare to send this to your speaker. So as soon as your speaker says, yes, they're going to speak, they get this awesome email that you've pre-written, or you've asked me to share mine with you. And you go in there, and you trigger, it basically triggers workflows that you have set up ahead of time. So you list your entire list of deadlines and deliverables. It onboards your speaker. It's a place where they can go at any given point. They don't have to scroll through their emails to find all the things that you've sent. They can access your speaker guidelines. They can access the deadlines. And right there, they can actually upload everything. So you don't have to worry about large files not being able to come through your email. You don't have to worry about the list of email threads that you get back and forth and scrolling and all of that. So in addition to that, as they submit things, the email that I was just talking about, you can auto trigger an email. Now, of course, that email is not going to be customized like I mentioned before, but you can at least have that email that acknowledges that you've received it, and then go through and send a separate email to them. Also in there, so it stores all your files. You at any given point have a dashboard of the status of everything, and you can set the reminders. So it has your deadlines. You can say how many days before it's due. If they haven't submitted it, it's going to send them the reminder. Again, you've already pre-written all of these things. If they've sent it, it doesn't send them a reminder. So it's so intuitive. It is so easy to use. You don't have to be a technology freak. And I know I'm sitting here sounding like I'm selling Content Snare, but seriously, it has made my life so much easier. And it's made it easier for my speakers because they have one place to look. They don't have, this deadline. Like in some cases, they're just going to pass the list of deadlines onto their admin and it's all going to get taken care of. But in some cases, that's not the situation. And so you want to make it as easy for them as possible. So there's so much more that Content Snare does. And I posted something about it earlier today because I really am just like, for me, this is a game changer. I swear, for each event, for every one event that I do, I think that this technology probably saves me collectively at least 20 hours, depending on the speaker. And the best part about it is once you've done this for your first event, all of your stuff is already in there. So you can just clone it event after event. All of your emails are already in there. You just have to change the name of the event or change, this or that. So really, it takes a little bit of time on the front end to set it up, but now you have a standard operating procedure to handle every single time you are working with a bunch of speakers. So I know for a lot of you that are, I've spoken with a lot of you that are doing these events on your own, and I've loved hearing about them and giving you tips and tricks and templates. Like, I am so happy to be able to help you during this time when you don't have the time to learn on your own right now. Like, you just have to go. And so I'm so happy to be able to share my knowledge with you guys to help you, ramp up to execute. lost my train of thought on that. I'm so fired up about the opportunity that this is giving me to help in a completely different way. And I know that a lot of people aren't hiring planners for virtual events, and that's completely understandable given, where we're at. I would love to help, but also understand financial situations that everybody's in. And I want to provide you what you need to get yourself set up for success and get yourself going. Joe, I see your comment. In light of what's happening in the world today, do you support online events? And yes, I do. That is part of the reason that I have started coming out with these lives every day, because I have consumed so much information about online events. And that could be from a webinar to a lunch and learn, a virtual lunch and learn, a summit. I even attended a virtual retreat over the weekend, and that was awesome. So yes, I can support it in a full service way, or I can just provide the consulting, the tools, the templates, the checklists to let you know what you need to do. I'm helping another client. They're doing everything on their own, and I'm just helping them, setting them up with the marketing, how to be the most successful in their marketing, and giving them swipe files and templates and all that sort of stuff. So yes, if you are in the space where you are looking to do your own event and need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of expertise, or want it done for you, I would love to talk, and I will put my calendar link in the description as well. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is in making it easy for your speakers is, I mentioned earlier, they are going to be one of your biggest assets in cross promotion, right? They're going to give you the social proof. They have their own following. So of course, in all of your speaker documents, you're going to provide them with the tips and tricks, you're going to provide them with everything they need to cross promote your event. What I like to do is I like to give them my promotion schedule, which may or may not help them, but it gives them an idea to know, this week am I promoting ticket sales? This week am I announcing speakers? That way they also know when I will be announcing them. But I also provide them with a bunch of graphics that have, Canva images that are already sized for all the social media, that they can literally take it, load it. I provide them with a swipe file. Here's a bunch of different things. If today you want to talk about your topic, if today you want to talk about this, and literally all they have to do is copy it, paste it, and post it. So again, the chances of getting them to help you, which of course they want to help promote your event because they're speaking at it, the chances of them doing that are going to be much greater if you make it super, super simple for them. So, and you'll have higher engagement, there'll be a better reach, and it doesn't take much time if you're setting them up for success. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is thinking about a speaker community. We talked about the other day when you're doing engagement in creating Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups for your attendees. Another great thing that I like to do is set up speaker groups. Now, groups on Facebook are becoming a huge thing. And I know for me, I don't love the way the interface, like I have my own spreadsheet that keeps track of my groups because it's tough, but it's a really nice way to get your speakers involved with each other and create a community between your speakers. You can also, again, there's a spot there where you can, obviously remind them, just another soft reminder of presentations are due, another soft reminder of, hey, copy, share, post, whatever. And it's also allowing them to kind of interact with each other, which I found in the past in the live event atmosphere, it makes it really exciting for when they're all in the green room. If they haven't met each other previously, they kind of have that connection already. And it's just exciting to put the faces with the names in person. Obviously, we're not going to be in that space now, but that does provide that opportunity for them to engage with each other. And I mean, the networking that happens behind the scenes of speakers is, I don't even have words for it. So that's just something else that you can provide to add value to your speakers. So I guess just to recap, at the end of the day, regardless of whether it's a live event or a virtual event, all you want to do is make sure that it is super, super, super easy to support your speakers. Make gaining all the things that collecting all the things that you need from them super easy. Let them know from the very beginning what your expectations are, what the deadlines are, and then using the content snare that I talked about, which it's seriously changed my life. So I'm so excited about it. Using that can really help you stay top of mind, make sure that everything is getting collected and that you are setting them up for success, setting yourself up for success, and that come showtime, showtime, live time, whatever it is, that you all are ready to go. Nothing has fallen through the cracks. Everybody has clear understanding of guidelines and expectations, and you are ready to go. And one other thing, now that I'm thinking about it, there's so much that I didn't talk about that you can do on Content Snare, but in it, you can also, I think I said you can upload all of their presentations and stuff. Well, they can also update any PDFs that they want to provide to their client or to your audience. If you are sharing things with them, if you're sharing registration lists, things like that, everything takes place right there, which again makes it super easy for your speakers. So at the end of the day, all it's about making it easy for your speakers. If you decide to use a separate technology, it's a win-win because it saves you a ton of time on the back end. So I see there's a lot of questions coming in. Yes, Joe, I will include my website on the info. I would love to talk with you if you are thinking about doing your own virtual event. And again, as you are exploring these different technologies and things like that, if you are looking for an example of a speaker checklist, if you are looking for an example of what presentation guidelines might look like, if you're looking for that swipe file of the emails that you're going to be sending to your speakers, drop an emoji below, send me a direct message, and I will be happy to share that stuff with you. So I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow to talk about using your attendees as collaborators. So I think that's something that is a little bit different from what I've seen, and a really great way. It's kind of an add-on to the engagement that we spoke about yesterday. So I look forward to seeing you guys, and let me know if there's any way that I can help.